Hello world! Welcome to another wonderful webisode of Constantly Cheeky with Rupert Cheek and me, Constance Quigley, and today we are going to talk about Instagram. And Instagram is pretty amazing. Definitely one of the top 5 need to be discussing in our social media series. So Rupert, as I always drum roll to you, what is Instagram?
It's like Pinterest insofar as it's a platform for posting images, essentially. Although since they started it, you can now post videos and stories and live videos. Much of that additional capabilities has been copied from Snapchat. The stories feature was kind of copied word for word, as it were, from Snapchat. So you can post, you can have your profile and post pictures with hashtags. Hashtags work the same as they do on Twitter, insofar as they help to increase the reach and the ease of finding images related to that hashtag, which means more people will see your image with that tag, hopefully. And you can post descriptions of each image when you post them in the post, and people can comment on them and like them, and you can repost them.
So Instagram is kind of a big deal when it comes to organizational growth on a social media platform. It's also a huge deal when it comes to the upcoming generations. Both millennials and our Mars generation is very active on Instagram. Instagram's functionality for me is a little weird, so I want to talk about that. I love and use Instagram, but I noticed that with Instagram there are breaks in the features. So like, you can only post, I can only post from my mobile. If I open up Instagram on the computer, you can't post.
No, you can like and comment, but you can't post from the desktop or the laptop.
Right.
Or the iPad.
Which is a little different. Yeah. Do you think they're going to change that and make it more functional for computer use as well, or do you think they're strictly focusing on mobile?
Like you, I wish they would, but I don't think they will anytime soon.
Right. I wish they would, but I think that they are actually focusing more on the mobile side of social media, or trying to corner that segment of the market. So when we're talking about Instagram, I want to go ahead and open up with some really cool information that Rupert and I found regarding Instagram. This information is, of course, in our demographics and business information source section. So if you're good at analytics and you're good at target market research, this information is valuable to you. If you're new to digital marketing, I hope you can garner some great information out of this. So the adult users of Instagram in the United States has doubled since 2012. The reason that statistic exists at all is because the younger generation seems to be dominating, younger generations seem to be dominating Instagram as a social media platform. But those numbers are changing, so you're starting to see a lot more older generations actively engaging within the Instagram platform. One of the really cool tidbits of information from Instagram that I've been able to find is that 56% of users on Instagram have an annual household income of more than $50,000 a year, with
It might be that the kids, the using it more so than the owners themselves, mightn't they? What do you think, Alison?
That's a really good point, because you focus more on the younger generations with Instagram historically. So I would assume that would have a heavy play in that statistical read.
I haven't got an answer, it was just a question.
Yeah, 26% of Instagram users report an annual income of $75,000 or more. So those are really big numbers. There are some jokes about, Instagram is free of starving students. I'm in my doctorate's program, so I think I have a couple of years of that. The starving student coming. But maybe if I spend more time on Instagram, my income will increase. Just what is that? The law of abundance.
Right, yeah.
Exactly. There are 1 million active advertisers on the Instagram platform. That fact was as of March 2017, and I'm pretty sure those numbers have increased. The reason I say that is because there's another fact in here. Oh, okay. Instagram has daily active users of 400 million people. That is expected to increase to 700 million active users. And so when you think about that, that's a lot of reach. The most the most popular photo on Instagram was Beyonce's Bay photo, and it pulled in an insane amount. Say that?
11 or 12 million likes or something, wasn't it?
Well, here on this fact sheet that I have, it was 6 million likes, but this is a couple months old.
Okay.
And I know that I have personally seen that picture twice today. So that may increase, have increased rather considerably since these facts were pulled. Instagram is huge on your hashtags. Rupert just talked about that a little bit. You can find most popular hashtag lists for Instagram, and you can find the most popular marketing hashtags, advertising hashtags. But one of my favorite features about Instagram is when you go to input a hashtag, it tells you how active that hashtag is at the moment. I know that other social media platforms have started integrating that, but I think that it originally started with Instagram, I'm guessing here, so don't mark me. That's not a fact I'm reading, I'm telling you. From my experience, I think it started with Instagram, and I think it was brilliant. So,
I agree.
when you're hashtagging your photos, you want to make sure you're using that feature so you can make sure that you're getting the most or the least visibility based on what your needs are.
Right? Because you can only have a certain number of hashtags.
Right.
You want to make sure that you're using the best ones.
One of my other favorite things about Instagram is it gives you that perfect balance between what makes Twitter amazing and what makes Facebook amazing, because Instagram allows you to put more words, limited number of hashtags, but more words overall than Twitter, and it allows you the photo like Facebook or Twitter, but the photo is a larger, more graphically precise.
You can tell more of a story in the text.
Exactly. Well, and I love Instagram because it gives you more room for creativity. You're actually encouraged to highlight and alter your photos to make them more captivating on Instagram. You find more beautiful images on Instagram than any of the other social media platforms. So just as a designer, it's one of my favorite places to be because it's ripe with beautiful ideas, imagery, great stories, and it's easy to connect with everybody, just like all of the other social media platforms we've talked about.
Since Facebook bought Instagram, that connectivity's increased a lot, so you can see Instagram pictures on Facebook.
I think that purchase was a good idea. That's me, but I really do like the increased functionality with Instagram. I think Facebook made a good, not that they need me to tell them that, but they made a really good decision in purchasing Instagram.
They wouldn't have done it if they wouldn't have spent however many $1 billion on it if they didn't think it was wise.
Right. Well, yeah, and it was a hefty purchase. Top 5 countries with Instagram users in order is the US, Russia, Brazil, Turkey, and then the UK. With you,
I'm kind of surprised at Turkey.
Yeah, me too. They have a 2% lead on the UK.
That seems odd to me, but there you go.
A bit. But apparently Instagram has what Turkey needs. It would be interesting to look up like the country statistics for each social media platform to see which is most popular with which country.
Right, or to see what most people in Turkey are posting on Instagram.
Now when we finish this, I'm gonna look it up. You know that, right? It's gonna eat at me the rest of the day. All right, Turkey, I want to see what you're posting on Instagram. So, side note challenge, if you catch this webisode, I am totally looking over the next couple of days, post something amazing so I can like shout it out or like it. Really fun statistic for organizations. 48.8% of brands are currently on Instagram. And that number is expected to increase to 70.7% of brands will be available on Instagram by the end of this year. Whoa. But Rupert, that means that we are super cool because we were already on Instagram.
Yeah, been on it for a while.
Yeah, so we have a head start. We're one of those savvy brands that just happen to understand this. But welcome to Instagram to all of the other brands. Be sure to stop by and say hi to Rupert and I. Our links are there as usual. So how often do you think most brands should post? I was surprised by the next statistic because it says that in 2017, the top brands are listing on average 4.9 times per week or posting.
During the week. During the work week. Yeah.
Which is an increase by 50% from the previous year. The top 5 brands being 9gag, Nike Football, Victoria's Secret, Nike, and National Geographic. I understand that those are like multi-billion-dollar organizations. But when you're talking about mid-size, medium, small organizations, how often should these organizations be using Instagram to post?
Well, I would start by suggesting once a day, but it depends on where they're at the moment. If they're posting once a month, then maybe once a week would be a more realistic target. But once a day, I guess. A couple of times a day, maybe.
See, I post on Instagram several times a day, but I also happen to have an ample supply of awesome graphics that I can supply the world. But I do notice that, like every other social media platform, the more active you are, the more followers you get, and the more visibility that you have. So, you know, base guideline rules. I don't think that Instagram is a place where you want to be posting 60 times a day.
No. That would be too much.
It'd be a lot. But try and keep it, you know, between 1 and 7 posts a day, because that increases your visibility. And also, I already heads up all of the organizations that are watching this. There's going to be an increase in organizational competitiveness on Instagram. From 40 to 70% is quite the leap. So you want to be establishing yourself early and well, because we only have 6 months left in the year, and these are the projected estimates by the end of the year.
Back to the number of times per day thing, the option of posting 5 or 10 images in one post is relatively recent addition, and it means you can post images without posting too many posts.
Right.
As it were.
Exactly. Well, and but then you only, okay, so if you have multiple images that follow one thing, that would work. I'm like, because for me, I do different brands, and I'm always posting about them. So I couldn't really throw different clients on top to it in one description. So be sure, and I'm not making this note for you, Rupert, but for the world, make sure that whatever you're posting matches what you're writing about and that you've tagged it. While we're talking about posts, location. You can tag your location with Instagram, yes?
Yes.
And that is important, but who is it most important for? And I'm asking you, Rupert, because you're the one who taught me this.
Hopefully useful for potential customers or clients or people looking for your services or products.
So it's, you tag your location if you're an organization, so people can find you, right?
Right.
So if you're an organization and you're posting about your organization, also tag your location, because it allows people to know whether or not you're local to them. And even if you have an online location, still put a physical location and then provide a website.
Right.
Good advice. The most followed celebrity on Instagram is Selena Gomez. I don't know why that, but it's a fact. So now you have it, and you're better educated.
Why has she got so many followers? What does she post?
I don't know. It says her most popular picture ever was a picture for Coca-Cola. But that's all it explains. Because she's pretty, and I know that she posts a lot of pictures, and people apparently like her. I would also think that it would have something to do with the generational demographics, because I know that Selena's very popular with both millennials and the Mars generation, so those were the two biggest fed generations for Instagram from its launch. I would just assume that she's doing very well with both of those generational cohorts as far as finances are concerned.
The people who like her music are the people using Instagram.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
It's the right age group. So I would think that she would have a good popularity and following on Instagram. Yeah.
How old is she? I wonder.
How old is she? A couple years younger than me. I can look it up.
That would be my guesstimate.
Well, I'm going to say like 10 years younger than me, I think. But let's look.
20-something.
She is 24. So several years younger than me, not quite 10. You know, one of my favorite things about Selena, though, and this is a truth, and it's pretty cool, is that Selena Gomez has an amazing relationship with her mom, and I admire that. I think together they are beautiful and brilliant, and I love the respect that she has for her mother.
Is her mother in any way involved in her musical endeavours, or just as a mum, you mean?
Okay, so I don't know them personally, but rumor has it that Selena Gomez lives with her mother, and her mom's very active in everything that she does, and Selena Gomez has no intention, want, or desire to move away from her mom. And something about that's beautiful to me. I think that those are the kind of things I want to see trending within the celebrities, world. Those are the things I want preached to our children, is to have good relationships with your family and not continue to popularize, that's the word, not to continue to popularize, I said it wrong, popularize family fallouts. Like, that was so awful in the 90s. I just felt like it was perpetrated over and over and over and over again in all of the media. It didn't matter who, what, when, how, or where, or why. And Selena was like, no, I love my mom. And I was like, yes, I love this girl. That's awesome. So Selena, you get props from me because I love that you love your mom. Can I say that I'm slightly biased, though, because I am a mom? So, so secretly I'm a little biased about it because I'm a mom and I want my kids to, be 24 and telling the world that I'm the coolest person in the world. And then I'll be like, I did it right. So Selena's mom, you did it right. What kind of photos do you like to post to Instagram?
Anything from a picture of my bonsai tree to the garden to an album cover to someone performing at a gig to a piece of chocolate cake. Anything really.
Now I want cake. That's awful. I post. Sorry, go.
To connect with people somehow involved with music. So if it's music, that's great, but it doesn't have to be.
I post ads, and I started posting my facts, my little fun fact series, and they're kind of useless facts, but they're also really useful facts for people who want to feel good. What else do I post pictures of myself very rarely, and
when you post an ad for the Gypsy Rose, which hashtags do you use?
Actually, I have a list, and it included travel the world, time to snuggle, luxurious vacation, the Gypsy Rose, House 2.0, Toledo, Oregon, Newport, Yaquina Bay, stuff like that.
What other ones could you think of? Which hashtags do you use on Twitter that you could use on Instagram as well?
On Twitter, I do more travel blogger, travel photos, travel destinations, world destinations, best vacations, travel talk.
Why don't you use those on Instagram as well?
Well, actually, I have 3 really good reasons. One is because I schedule the post differently. So it takes me about 3 hours to plug in enough posts for a 7-day period. So generally, I will block off 2 days a month for each one of my social medias so I can schedule in these posts. Another reason is because I will reshare. So if I have a post from Instagram that was doing really well on Instagram, I did not put that post on Facebook, and I didn't put it on Twitter either. So then I can take it out of Instagram and share in both of those other locations. So I try to keep my messages between Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr completely different. Pinterest also.
Okay.
So then I can you know, if you have a slow day and you're like, oh no, I have to reschedule, but life happened, you can start cross-sharing from your other just to get you by until you can plug it in again. Yeah, life lessons learned. I actually spend a lot of time trying to plug in all of the ads for clients and then for my own companies. But I love it. I noticed that a growing trend for me, at least, is for Instagram and Tumblr specifically. My posts have become more intimate. And what I mean by that is, instead of just creating great graphics for an artist or for a client company, I'm creating great graphics and then I'm calling them and going, tell me something personal about this, so I can build your post off of this. And so I've been trying to give everything a more transparent and intimate feel between business and client. It seems to be working out really nicely. So that's why I'm telling the world is I advise you steal that from me, because it's working.
Can you share an example with us?
I could. Actually, I will. I will input one right here in the film. Right now. And Rupert, you were talking about doing a spotlight feature. Explain that a little bit so people can write us down below if they would like to be featured.
If you are a musician or an entrepreneur or a business owner or all of the above, we would love to hear from you, so that we can discuss your social media management on a future upcoming webisode.
Right. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. You'd also get a couple of really cool free ads from me, and you would get free promotions from Rupert, and we would benefit because we are, of course, building our network, which I hope I have impressed the importance of to you so far. Thank you so much for joining us for Webisode 10. We need balloons. Okay. Yay! And I hope you guys have a wonderfully cheeky evening, afternoon, day. I also want to shout out, please, #cheeky, anything that's business, social media, promotions, music related, because we're trying to start a trend here. And
Even #ConstantlyCheeky.
You could #ConstantlyCheeky too, but I'm trying to track this cheeky thing. #cheeky world, because, well, we need a little more laughter in it, and why not do it in a fun way? Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.
See you on Monday.